preparing to go live. Just FYI, everyone in the room, this is a live stream on YouTube. If you are not happy with your image possibly being captured as you enter or exit the door, please let us know and we'll hide your face or something. But it's a live stream and it's happening now. And hello, everyone. Welcome to Art in the Basin. Come on in. Come on in. Yes, we are here at Monomore Coffee and Wine. This is a live affair. Okay, so let's get this party started. I'm going to introduce you to the man who will take you through this evening. In case you are wondering, this mic is not a real mic. This is for the virtual world. So we will be speaking quite loudly. Forgive us. Other than that, let me introduce you to the man who will guide you through this hour. Oh, by the way, I'm Amy Joy, but his name is Tim W. Brown. He is the author of 4 novels, including my favorite second acts. You can find that on Amazon. He is also known as the minor god in the Chicago poetry scene, or once known. Please help me welcome Tim W. Brown, everyone.
Hello, everyone. Thanks so much for coming out. It's a warm night out, and you could be down in Manhattan checking out Manhattan Henge, but we're glad that you're not and that you're here with us here tonight. We appreciate that. Thank you to Amy Joy, the co-host with the most. We are here on Zoom, and we're also live in the room at Monomore Coffee and Wine, 238th Street and Broadway in the Bronx. Readers, when you come up here, make sure you project. We've always been known as the open mic without a mic, except we do now have a mic, but it's for the Zoom people to hear us. So this is just almost a prop, but anyway, glad that you're here. I had the day off from work today, actually, and I spent it riding 32 miles on my bike. I rode from Riverdale, where I live, up to Elmsford, New York, and back on the Westchester County Bike Trail. I was looking to commemorate the day by maybe reading a poem or two about cycling. And I did actually find a couple short poems, which I'll share with you in a moment, from poemhunter.com. It's an app and a website that I always recommend. There are poems on every subject imaginable by poets famous and not so famous. I have a couple of, like I said, short bicycle poems by a couple of fairly famous people, I guess. There's a contemporary poet named Jill Monroe, whose poem, The Bicycle, I'll read for you now. The bicycle is a road, 2 thin black wheels on asphalt. The bicycle is a road, and I am pushed along it. Up the hills and over the bridge, the bicycle is a hill. The bicycle is a bridge. The bicycle is a road. All right. Jill Monroe, everybody. We all live in the Bronx. We know it's an extremely hilly part of the country, so can relate to the bicycle as a hill business. We have another short poem by an Irish poet from the earlier part of the 20th century. This is called The Cyclist by a poet named Lewis MacNeice. Again, he was from Northern Ireland, actually, I guess, Belfast. Bones, sinews, nerves, legs, lungs. Someday I will get home, and I will find them out and let them rest and look at them and think of the old miles and how we got through them. And they will be tired, and I will sit by the fire and be tired. Thanks very much. Like I said, not too tired after my 32-miler today to host this open mic. We have a special guest tonight. A longtime friend of ours, been here numerous times over the years. Always glad to see him. His name is Raymond Le, and by way of introduction, just let me say, when you think of Raymond, think the word perseverance. Perseverance, everybody. Everybody, Raymond Le.
Hello, everyone. Hi, I'm Raymond. From the head? Oh. Hi, everyone. So I just wanted to start out by talking about the writing process, I guess. Things that I found that was important, how I found my voice, and how I find myself here today. Um, I was thinking about it because Amy had asked me, how did it all begin? And it all began in, obviously, a junior year English class. I found myself looking for my voice, a way to communicate, express, and find a way to be understood. And since that day, I'm here. I am looking for a way to express and hopefully be heard. And I'm gonna start reading now. It's been a while since I've been up here, so please forgive me. All right. I'm gonna start with a couple short ones. We'll reread them over because they are shorter. Um,
It's awesome.
Clarity is found in between snowflakes. The sun still shines behind the clouds and shines brighter at night than day. One more time, yeah. Clarity is found in between snowflakes. The sun still shines behind the clouds and shines brighter at night than day. All right. I find a lot of inspiration from Ezra Pound with the shorter poems. I find that if we can condense it so that it hits as hard as possible, it's a wonderful thing. For this one, I finally wandered into the moment between dreams, and I'm scared of myself, a hunger that wants to dance and dance, make little yous and me's run. I finally wandered into the moment
I like
between
that.
dreams, and I'm scared of myself, a hunger that wants to dance and dance, make little yous and me's run.
You want to connect with that childlike wonder is the way you're saying.
All right, and for the last one, something I've read before, something I wrote a fair amount of time ago, but I'm still very proud, and something I want to share. We fell from heaven as we headed to paradise. The clouds flew above us, and we descended into the chaos, into the madness. We fell and fell into the storm. Our faith, our freedom, stripped and ripped from us. We lost sight of what we held close to us, and we succumbed to the impurity of the human spirit. All right. This one is something that's still in the works, but worth mentioning now. What is this frustration, this anxiety I feel, the feeling that once upon a time happened long ago, that a story was started, but I didn't know. A tale of love and life that had no end, just a start, stuck in the story with no new outcome, is a man that sits and waits. He ponders and fantasizes a never-ending world. Images all mixed up, making for a rather bizarre sight. A woman at a wedding and a room painted black with writing on all the walls. A desk that holds flowers in a bowl thrown across the room. The bowl smashes, the flowers fall and become nothing more. Outside, a tree is burning so bright it lights the night sky, and all around the rain hits the ground, echoing through the darkness. From behind a chamber door, war could be heard, the cries of anguish and the shells on the hardwood floors. It's a mad world made by a mad man, and somewhere a mighty church bell can be heard.
I like the hopeful.
This one I wrote a little introduction. When I had a very tough health scare a few years back, very depressed. Death was all around me. Do forgive the tone. In the midst of youth, death's grip may seem so far, but her hands are always around our throats. She breathes down our necks ever so lightly, silently waiting for the moment of our fall. She is cold and wants only to embrace us. It is sweet ecstasy to steal us from the cradle of life, which is forever bathed in light. A frozen touch that chills our spines, reminds us that she is always watching. All right, and this is something I kind of rushed together to pair off with the last piece. Here we go. It's amazing what can work, broken and beaten, whole chunks missing, parts ripped out haphazardly, young and reckless. You try to feed the restless. Enough was never enough, and you are overtaken, robbed and humiliated, weeping alone by the end. You can see pieces have been cut out delicately, with loving hands, with sharp words, and deliberate action, desperate to trade a part of yourself for affection, for reprieve. You don't realize yet, with every part missing, there is less of you, less to be seen, less to be heard, unable to be loved. The wounds to the soul have altered its form, canyons gouged into peaceful hills, ground broken beneath our feet. Hold on to who you are, climb up to see the light. Your world has seemed to change. Let this tremor settle, for the earth to sleep. Breathe the air and laugh into the wind. Bathe in the light for what seems like the first time ever. Share your world still, with your beautiful scars and all the strength that remains. You are magnificent, and I love you. Now, this one is titled Sublet because people live rent-free in your mind sometimes. I've made the mistake of filling myself with you. You cover the walls, leaving a mess during your stay. I hate the clutter. You place the flower in the dark. You enjoy bringing life, whispering into the petals, your sweet dreams. Roots invade the cracks, a threat to my foundation. I know the damage you can cause, and I'm frantic to believe in you, that sunflowers light up dark skies. I painted the walls white and attempt to reject you. As I begin to fall back into the motions of before, the room is bright, easy to forget, and layer after layer hides intent. I water this flower, bathe it in sunshine. Each day, hope endeavors. Even though mistakes have been made, I still enjoy the time when you were a guest of mine.
That's one of my favorites he has.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
Now, when I was asked to do this reading, I was thinking long and hard about the last few years of my life. And I would say that I've been trying to hide myself, trying to be less than who I am. So I thought, how was I to ever say sorry for such a terrible mistake? So I thought long and hard, and this is something that's dedicated to not only Amy Joy, Tim, but to all the people that supported me and still continues to support me. This is called Apologies. To those that believe in me, put their misplaced faith in me, I won't be saying sorry. I've stumbled and fell, become lost in my actions. I've been blind and reactive, and God knows, distracted. I've tried giving up on myself, chipping away at my ambition, a crushing expectation. Despite my sabotage and unrelenting imagination, I've tried to continue forward with the lies I've told. Through it all, falling and flying, spinning around anxiously, I've not lost hope, it seems. When you look into my eyes, you will still see a light flicker mischievously, feeding on the belief that one day when I find my place, I can finally mean it when I say. Right. This one is titled Letter to SM. It's something that I have been meaning to work on, meaning to write, and it's something that I hope becomes a very big collection. I won't give anything away to who is SM, but hopefully the mystery can be understood a little bit. Now that I finally find myself here, I don't know what to say. I've become obsessed with the faces that haunt my dreams, tainting any chance to bear the weight of my selfish expectations. Dreams of lives warm and cozy, turning into nightmares. I see a life with laughter, built on love and familiarity, and over time, stuck in doubt. Hundreds of dreams come to die at my bedside. Waking up, chest pounding. Everything is distant. The face is blurred. Time catches up. And I stare at my life, blank, with so much possibility. And I'm terrified. Only left with this emptiness, and I can't help but chase this pain I invite. This is my punishment, forever afraid to know your love, soul.
We better confess to XM.
Yeah, for real.
So this is something I wrote in Taiwan when I was out exploring. This is something that is still in the work of progress. Doesn't really capture the entirety of that wonderful country of Taipei, the wonderful city it is. And hopefully I will be able to read it to you in its complete form. But today we have this. The wind was with the water going against my face. It was falling in a dream. This boat ride was filling for me. I saw her people live this life. I felt like I had a taste, and yet I wanted more. A greedy boy who had gotten what he didn't know he wanted. Unsure of how to feel, the first bite out of love. The bay was bigger than it seemed. Stalls and stands and homes passed by. I was already nostalgic for this something new. I listened for waves crashing into me, a gentle falling heavy on me. I closed my eyes and tried to fly with the boat and sea in a bay I could have sworn was home. The waves chased after my feet, leaping up from my hands, chasing life, chasing land, chasing after the setting sun, running away on currents far from home. Now I have only one last piece to read, unfortunately. I know I read a little quick. I'm working on it. But this is something that I spent a lot of time kind of torturing myself over. And funny enough, this is the best answer I have, not to myself, but to someone that's important to me, I suppose. This is called Love. I lost the faded beat of this hurried heart listening to your voice. I collapsed into the silence, just struggling to grasp you. And I'm strangled. I cannot breathe. I hold back my scream just to remember your voice. And so I cried, hoping no one could see. This is all in my head, every day, every moment, just you, haunting me. And I will love you then and now and always. Just who are you? I am selfish. I am in need of a revelation. What do you look like? How big could you smile? What color or red will you be when you're angry with me? Will you grow? Will you glow so much brighter than I could ever hope for? I don't know any of these things, and I cannot bring myself to see. Yet I know I love you, always and anyways. Your voice whispers to me a soft kiss. That was my set. I hope y'all enjoy. And if you want, I could reread anything else on Encore if you like. Otherwise, I will be passing it off. And hopefully here at Monomoore, we have a lot of readers coming up. I encourage all, please. It's an open mic. It's a wonderful thing. Tim.
Great. Thank you. Raymond, everybody. Let's hear it. Thank you. Great job, man. Perseverance through a mad world made by a mad man. That was a great line. I wrote that one down, like, because I was really struck by it. But thank you so much, Raymond, for that. As he mentioned, we do now have the open mic portion of the evening. I have here the sign-up clipboard that maybe we'll pass around. We have a few people signed up already, and I think there's probably a handful on Zoom. We'll have to look into that. But why don't we bring up our first open micer, welcome him back. Well, I shouldn't say old, longtime friend of the series, engaging storyteller, humorous as hell, Adam.
That was coming. I knew that description was coming. You know, when I grew up, they had a saying, everybody's affected. Nobody can cheat death and taxes. Well, in the last 30 years, since Ronald Reagan, they all cheat on taxes. They can't cheat death. So this is a story that has that as a component. And you need to know two things about it that it will make it relevant so you get the punchline. The first thing is, and this tells my age, when I was in college, there was a huge ass album by a group called the Eagles called the Hotel California. Yeah. And the song, the Hotel California, and what it's all about. Now, for those of you that don't know, just be assured that death is the reason they composed the Hotel California. It only took me 30 years to figure that out, and my best friend to tell me. Okay, so the other little cultural note that you should be aware of is that we all mourn death, different cultures, different religions in different ways. So the Irish, the Italians, they have wakes. The Jews, they sit Shiva for 7 days. And what that means is everybody brings you food, stuff your face, kibitz with people, as they say, and you move on. Barbara told me, my beloved told me when we met, that if I behaved myself, I would be able to become a grandfather without ever having changed a diaper. So I assume that I've met the criterion because we have 3 grandsons, and Barbara's son, which he raised without me, a fine young man, is married to a young woman whose family comes from a culture that on paper looks like mine. Jewish, the suburbs. Hey, you know, we should share a lot. We don't. Our values don't match at all. But we keep quiet about it. We keep peace in the family. That culture, her family, her son's name is Louis. Louis's wife's name is Chelsea. Chelsea's family has 3 sisters. Eeny, meeny, and miny. They forgot Mo. No, I'm sorry. I couldn't resist that. And even though they live in a well-to-do part of Long Island, there's a saying from when I was a kid: you can take the kid out of Brooklyn, but you can't take the Brooklyn out of the kid. So this family goes, Barbara, it's beautiful down in Boca, and it's your worst stereotype. Okay. The patriarch, Chelsea's grandfather, it was a tough old bird. I mean tough. He lived to age 98. Okay, that's one tough son of a bitch. Okay, it's easy to say that. And this story harks back to a time somewhere in the past 10 years where his name is Lester. You're mingling at their house. And that culture, one of the things that makes that culture very different than something Barbara and I ascribe to, is everything's related to how much money you have, don't have, but spend anyway. Because they just spend like they're going out in style. Lester made his money, his generation in the 1950s. He made it in what they call the rag business. It sounds better in Yiddish, the schmatta business. What the schmatta business is the clothing business, the garment business. And they make it big, they lose it big. They spend it anyway. Lester traveled the world. Lester was emblematic of the values expressed in that, what I call subculture. So one day we're there for some social gathering. And yes, I behaved myself, despite the fact that I would rather not, but I behaved myself. But so Barbara is talking about travel with Lester, and Lester has been big traveler. His version of travel was skiing in Switzerland in the winter and going on expensive cruises. Now, if you told me that, I think I'd gag. I couldn't do that. And Barbara and I travel. I mean, where we go, we don't know what the name of the hotel is. Is it clean? Is it safe? Is it reasonable? That's all we give a damn about. Lester, though, Lester and Barbara are having a conversation. And I will ascribe what happens next to what Barbara said, because she remembers it better than I do. Barbara is a retired academic. She's talking about a conference she went to. Now, when you have a conference, it's like a business meeting, a convention. There's a convention hotel. That's where you stay. Who gives a shit what the hotel is? It's there. That's where you meet everybody. So all Barbara was there to do was to meet people, schmooze, glad hand, present papers, whatever academics do. You know, look at her. She does look like an academic, but that's a compliment, dear. Okay, in case you didn't know. So Lester comes up to Barbara, and yeah, Barbara and I share the same values. It's like, what? No, we don't stay in the 5-star Ritz-Carlton. But Lester goes, so Barbara, you've been to whatever the city was. I forget what the city was. What hotel did you stay in? Now, if you think about it, and you're traveling, that's where you put your head down at night. You wake up in the morning, you may stay there another night. But does it really matter? To them, it does. And he asked this question over and over again. Fast forward to the present. A week ago yesterday, the funeral. Old Lester kicked the bucket finally in Boca. Well, he did kick the bucket. He just dropped dead. Finally, the old heart came out. Honestly, I didn't know if I was going to live to see it. I thought he was going to outlive me. That's a whole nother story. So when we were driving, we drove out to the funeral in that part of Long Island, and we did not go to the cemetery, which is a big deal. We left that to Lewis. That was his deal. We went home, back up to the Bronx, and then schlepped out again to what we call paying a shiva call, sitting in somebody's house eating poop and stuffing your face. In between there, Barbara, and I got to credit Barbara, this is one of the most brilliant things I heard my wife say. And I've known her 20 years, and she says a lot of smart things. She said, you know, good old Lester, Chelsea's grandfather, is now ensconced in the presidential suite at the Hotel California.
Yeah, you can never leave the Hotel California. That's isn't that the end of the chorus of that song? Yeah. Right. Never leave. Thank you, Adam. Really appreciate that. We are here every other Tuesday and have been for 7 years, over 7 years now. Based Monomore Coffee and Wine. Always been very gracious and hosting us here, and everybody who's shown up over the years to read. We're very thankful. Anyhow, we do this every other Tuesday. However, we cannot do it in 2 weeks. On June 11th, it's the week when the New York Philharmonic plays in all of the parks around New York City. And on June 11th, over here at Van Cortlandt Park, that's the night that they're playing in the Bronx. So we are going to forego the event on June 11th. We already know you all will be there and don't want to come here. So we'll just like make the decision easy for you. So anyway, but we'll be back 1 month or so from now, whatever, 11, 14, 25. Thank you. I'm a language person, not a math person. I can tell. Anyway, thank you for that. And what else can I mention? Oh, we're on all of the social media places. Instagram, we're Art in the Basin. YouTube, where we are live streaming tonight in this very event. Art in the Basin, we have a YouTube channel. Please do check it out. All of our recent readings going back probably a couple of years or more, as well as some of the workshops that we host from time to time, including last week and the week before that, we hosted a workshop by a pretty well-known poet named Kim Lyons. Anyhow, that's on YouTube. Everything's on YouTube. Oh, and also on Facebook, we are AITB-Art in the Basin. And as well, if you want to just write us with, fan mail or something, we're at artinthebasin@gmail.com. Well, why don't we bring up our next open micer? We love her to death. Everybody, welcome Miss Fly Beta.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Hi, y'all. Oh my goodness, y'all look so beautiful over there. So I want to thank our feature for mentioning subletting because I mean a girl's looking to sublet if you got cheap rent. Hello, I have a dog. But I'll start with I have two pieces. I have two pieces. One that is less happy and the other one that is a little more lighthearted. So we will start, of course, with the downer. During the eclipse, my friend prompted me to write about the darkness that people chase. Because some people were very adamant about watching it and others were like, I'm going to stay in my house. And my dog drugged me inside. He's like, nope, absolutely not. We're not doing this. But it made me think about, I was on the uphill of a very dark time in my life. And it got me to thinking. And so this is an unfinished piece, but I want to share it with you all. You're beautiful, beautiful people. Darkness became precedence in my place of residence and didn't even have the courtesy to stay on the couch. No splitting the rent, I became the dependent and also the breadwinner to sustain. I'm buried in late fees, got me on my hands and knees. I tend to fight darkness with darkness and turn off the light. Thought the demons couldn't find you in the middle of the night. They smell your fear and whisper in your ear, you're welcome here. She's a thief, rob you blind, leave you weak, leave you meek. A hollow shell of who you are, 'cause you're still there, in there, somewhere. Darkness ran reckless, unchecked, a small start, lift shop, inconspicuous things, petty theft. Small tools for small potatoes, small digs at myself. Turn the soil and turn words. Turn to actions, actions in actions, action. Either trying not to or very precisely sobbing, all while robbing my highest self, and she is pissed. Serving in order to vacate, I, the landlord and the tenant, the judge, the jury, and the defendant, I, the delinquent and the law. Sound the alarm, chasing darkness, a high-speed pursuit. Set out the spike strip, a pit maneuver, roadblock evaded. Very quickly equated. I don't believe I am worth the pouring into me, and so I chased it with darkness, my highest self. Barkeep, barred the dark. She cut them off. I hope for a better closing tomorrow. Thank you. Thank you so very much. Thank you, thank you. And on a lighter note, I hate the way you do that thing you do that makes me look at you and realize how much I love you. and how open I am and how vulnerable I am, and that you made me that way. And then I hate you a little more. And I think about how I've never been that way because I never loved someone the way I love you in that very moment. And I go back to hating you because you made me that way. You know what they say. I love you more than I did yesterday and less than I will tomorrow. But my question is, what is the unit of measure? Because if love is measured in words, today I could write a book. Tomorrow I could fill a library. And in a week I could educate nations for generations because my love for you is timeless. If love is measured in the cohesive bond between two molecules of hydrogen and a molecule of oxygen, today you could collect all the tears that I cry in the night when my heart is almost breaking because I miss you. Tomorrow you could collect all the tears that I cry in a lifetime, along with the raindrops that I danced in when I was a little girl. Like the blissful joy I feel when I'm around you. In a week, you would need an ocean to hold all the rain that has fallen on this world, flowed from the highest mountaintops, the way your hands trace rivers from my shoulder blades to my lower back. If love is measured in money, it doesn't matter because my love for you is priceless. But let's just say poverty would be eradicated and prices would be deflated so that a mother could cook a Thanksgiving dinner to feed her family or the block every night. If my love for you was measured in kisses, that would be ridiculous. Because today I'd have enough love to kiss you for the rest of the night. And tomorrow with the sunrise, I'd have enough love to kiss you for the rest of your life. In a month, there would be enough love for everyone to kiss a stranger, their brother, their daughter, their mother, 3 times over. I love you exponentially and eventually becomes immeasurable, and I'll have no way to measure my love as perfectly as it takes to measure milk and eggs to bake a cake for your birthday, but I can't bake. I can't even follow the directions on a box. So in the meantime, I'll just count the stars in the sky and name each one as a reason why I love you until I lose count or fall asleep. The next night, I can start all over again and count each star out to the moon, make a right at Pluto, and come back again. Because even after I count every single one, I still have galaxies and light years to measure how much I love you. Thank you. Thank you.
Wowzer. Wowee. Yikes. That is some capacity for love. Oh my God. Anyway, thank you so much, Miss Fly Vita. Yes, Ron Mark is in the house. He stopped in. Great to see him. Have a seat. Get a drink. Smoke if you got them. Well, not inside, but you can go outside with the rest of the bus stop people and smoke. Before we announce our next open micer, everybody signed up is signed up, right? Okay. Okay. Well, yeah, we can always just, deal with, your rant, if you have any sort of thing you're pissed off about and just want to get it off your chest. We're up for that. I have to stall a minute because our shall we you want to Amy Joy is going to come up and read something. All right, everybody. Art in the Basin co-host Amy Joy Robert.
Give me a number from, sorry. 8. Okay, 8.
8.
Just in case you're wondering what I'm reading, I am reading from my book, The Purest Kind. You can find it on Amazon. Thank you. Amy Joy Roboteau, Robateau. So page number 8 looks like this. And it says, fun, plus options.
Yep.
Or with options, I mean. And it's called Sing. Oh my God, I haven't read this in forever. Okay. Puckered pursuit, precariously postured plate, put forth potential, ping-ponged, pondered, proportioned appropriately. Play, prohibit, play, pleasure paramount, permission present, privilege, plowing permitted, prescribed planting, still, moment marinates, still, sing. Thank you.
Amy Joy, everyone. Amy Joy is, sort of the founder and motivating force of Art in the Basin. I always joke, forgive me if you've heard this joke before, but she's the brains in the operation, and I'm merely the talent. Anyhow, stalling. What can I say? What are we? What's that? Not yet. Should we put on all our Zoom people? We have. Well, how about the Elegant Ivory duo? Can we do that? Oh.
Are you talking yet?
Hello.
Hello,
Do you
everyone.
hear us?
Can you hear us?
We'll find out.
Elegant Ivory.
Hello.
Okay.
Hi. Wonderful to be back here. Wonderful to hear everybody. Wonderful talent.
Okay, so
Spotlight.
All right. Can you hear us?
Yes.
yes, okay.
All right, we can hear you too. Rock it.
Tonight we have chosen one of my songs. I can only say, dog is man's best friend sometimes.
And I believe in dog. And I'm not just barking up the wrong tree. No, it's not like I have a bone to pick or anything like that. What? Oh, I should stop quibbling and just get to the song. My dog wants to visit dog neighbors. I know from the tone of that bark. When I feel like resting, the dog feels like pestering. Oh, please, let's go walk in the park. My dog loves to roll in the laundry, then pull Sunday's paper apart. When I'm feeling tired, my dog will inquire a twisted four-legged question mark. Oh, what must I do for an hour of peace? That dog wants some more doggy rations. Stretching high, the dog pleads, and in canine, a sneeze. Achoo. Then whines, I need stimulation. My dog wants to play with the frisbee. I freeze, but that dog will not mope. Tail high, eyes blink, head tilts, then thinks how to put me through more doggy ropes. In no way has doggy lost hope. Thunder bark, thunder bark. That dog sniffs at my apple strudel. I say no, go away. But that dog reasons, hey, at least get me oodles of poodles. My dog loves to ride to the country and run through a field in the sun. When I shout, time to leave. That dog will not retreat and plays deaf when I yell out, come. More times than not, doggy has won. When I am reclining, that doggy starts whining. When I'm feeling distant, that dog gets insistent. When I'm feeling wasted, that doggy starts chasing. I think we've been stuck in a rut. I can't be complacent. Life's no barking basement. With this mutt. Thank you. You don't think I was barking up the wrong tree, do you? Ow. Oh, I like that.
All right, elegant ivory duo.
I can be rough. Oh, we cannot hear anything. Oh dear.
Switch me back.
We are back live in the cafe. We're in the room after just hearing somebody on Zoom. Thank you so much, Elegant Ivory Duo. Longtime friends of ours. One of the good things that came out of the pandemic and the COVID and, you know, all that mess is that we met the Elegant Ivory Duo. And we're really happy that's happened. Anyway, thank you again, John, Elizabeth. Hats off to you. We have another open micer who I believe is now ready. Evan.
Thank you. Okay, this is a very short poem. Something came over me one day, and I just felt like I had to write this out. And it's very short, yeah. I think it's about power and about certainty and how certainty can be spiritually corrosive, but at the time I just kind of wrote it, and what happened is what happened. So here it goes. The unliving see 2020. That's what they'd have you believe. They're not lying nor being truthful. They don't know fog as we do. And that's the whole poem. One more time. Okay, here we go. Okay. The unliving see 2020. That's what they'd have you believe. They're not lying, nor are they being truthful. They do not know fog as we do.
Thank you, Evan. Please do come back. Read something longer and, take a couple minutes. We're always happy to have open micers taking pretty much as long as they want. We're always been known as a very supportive reading series. We are community-based. We rely on people, poets, writers from the community, and we're really glad to be here, as I've stated probably multiple times tonight. Anywho, any other potential open micers out there before we kind of get to the closing of the what? I'm going to bring Adam up for another story. Yeah, bring him up for another story. All right.
I celebrated the 10th anniversary this year. 10, 5, and 5. Okay. Yeah. It was the 10th anniversary. And give you a little bit of background. I grew up in a family and a family business. Part of the family, you're part of the business. Not part of the business, you're not part of the family. So my mother dies in 1981. She was one of the founders. My older brother dies in 1997. That leaves three of us, my dad, my kid brother, and me. My dad dies in 2000. And when they say that people can reach back from the grave, well, that man did. And it wasn't very nice. So despite all that, I decided to move forward with the business. I go ahead a couple years. I lose my first wife. She took her life, tragically. And it took me 1 year to get over that, more or less, más o menos. But it took me 9 years later of good therapy, of a good wife, to get the courage to do what I did on April 20th, 2014 at 7:50 a.m. Pacific time. You think I missed the place? Not a goddamn chance. That's when I sent the email and told him what he could do with the business. And I've been happier. I've been happy ever since.
All right. We have late entrance to the open mic. We're always grateful to have people come here and, you know, pay attention to us and everything like that. And we pay attention to them in return. She's ordering a drink right now. We'll let her do that. We wanted to know about what Poem Hunter?
What website, what poetry website is referring to?
It is a poetry website called Poem Hunter. I don't know if it's, I think it's poemhunter.com, not poemhunter.org. I think it's like a, you know, a website. It's also an app if you want to get an app. But like I said, there's, you know, just tens of thousands of poems there that you can read, and it's all free and everything like that. Habs, are you good? All right. Well, our next open micer's coming on up here. Habs.
Sorry, guys. Thank you, thank you. How many minutes again? All right, we might do two. Because we're still in May, I'm gonna do a poem for Mother's Day. Yeah. I tried to get my babies here today, but my little one, she's 14, and she was like, no, I'm like, you know, that's not for me. I was like, all right, let me go. Truth is, when I was young, I never thought of picking up a plate without a stove, a school without a father, but it happened. And let me tell you something, mommy, those nights came heavy. Some days smeared into the next, and questions waking you at 3 o'clock in the morning. Insecurities sit beside you at a school play, and you wonder if the new shoes you bought her make up for the empty chair. Make good of yourself. I remember when it was my mother who danced in the auditorium, long slides to her family portrait. I bet she felt empty too. Maybe that's why extravagant dresses for day of picture come with so much importance. Perhaps that was the substitute for getting the small package and smiling. No mother wants this, you know. Soon, rare days of freedom leave you feeling empty. Emotions and emergencies become a shade of a difference, and you can't understand how this panic attacks you. I bet nobody noticed the pot of rice you have not ate in 2 days. To get her, you come lost, hide in the, I'm okay. Really? She's gotten so big, right? Wasn't that the plan in co-parenting, though? To put a child first? All year I collected the questions. I'm only there to answer. Some days I no longer fit, not in my old circle of friends, nor tomorrow's dreams. Nobody said the jeans would fit this big. that I would lose myself in the process of becoming someone's mother. And I know I sound selfish, right? But the truth is, when you're a mom, you give up everything. Help comes scattered across the kitchen table, and keeping a strong face, it doesn't come easy. But you find a way. You collect the spare change hidden in the lost invitations. You put together puzzles on the living room floor. They'll ask you, Mom, 5 more minutes. And you give them 10. Smiling doesn't happen sudden. But never give up, because it does. For it's in a child's love that life has true meaning. Poem. Thank you. This one is gonna come a little bit more heavy, a little bit more warning to any domestic survivor. Much love and respect to you. Page of words, reflect the wounds that lead me to a path of self-neglect. I wake up, I roll over, scream at God, and I wish for a new life. He must be so sick of me. There was a knock at the door. I opened the door to find a man who said nothing. The silence of a man usually confuses me, wondering what scars can he deliver on this bright Sunday. Where is he? I don't know. He doesn't live here anymore. I had never seen this man, but better than I to ask him who he was or who the fuck he spoke of. I'm sorry. Oh man, Lord Father God. To ask him who he spoke of. He grabbed, oh Lord Father God, yo lo voy a dejar allí because I don't have the book with me and I'm getting nervous. I'm gonna leave it here, and then if we have a second round, I'll come back, okay? All right. Thank you.
Everybody. Thank you. Tabitha. Rocking the house. Tabs for short. Do come back. All y'all should come back. Not in 2 weeks though, because it's the New York Philharmonic, a couple blocks up at Van Cortlandt Park. Yeah. Yeah, and we'd have a soundtrack, not happening. She's the boss. Not happening. Anyhow, thanks again, everybody, for coming out tonight. Really appreciate all of the love that we've received for the past 7 years, and we're gonna keep it going as long as we can. Hopefully, death doesn't, intervene or anything. We'll just keep it eternally. We'll be eternal here. But let me turn it over to the co-host with the most. You met her before, Amy Joy.
Tim W. Brown, right? Okay, so Raymond Lee is gonna come back. He's gonna do what Tim likes to call the benediction. Raymond, please. Do the honors, and then I'll come back.
So, Amy Joy's book, The Purest Kind, found on Amazon. Yeah? Okay. Lead, love. Love at the helm. Take me to unseen realm. In it, I'll dwell under sacred spell. Waving into your gaze, set still. Love, lead the way. Now here at Art in the Basin, we like to end the night on these 3 words. The words are let love lead. Now, I'm gonna add a little spin to that, things that I find that's important with love. Now, I'm gonna end with those last 3 words, and I want you guys to repeat that with me on the last 3 words, all right? Be afraid of love, trust in love, live in love, and let
love bleed.
Let love lead. It's a beautiful thing. And I hope that that's what you take from tonight. I feel the love in the air. I feel very supported. And I hope that we can support you on the other end. Thank you.
How lucky are we to have this room full of people who can appreciate poetry, spoken word, and art in general, continue to support each other. You are what makes art in the Basin. It's each of you. Okay, so thank you. Give yourselves a round of applause. And since we're in 2024, I like to start with the word lead, right? So on 3, we're going to do lead, let, love, okay? Toi. On du, toi, lead, let, love. That's right. You lead with love and you let that love in and out. Good night, everyone. And thank you for being here. Thank you for participating. Thank you for encouraging. Everybody's awesome. I mean, come on.